Lynn? So good to see you. DMP every day. I'm always competing against yesterday's version of me. That's the only competition for me. That's right. God first. I'm all the way with you on that. I'm driving in whatever car you riding in right now. If that's the mindset. Treasure Chocolate, I see you. That's it. Ellie, that's it. It's only a two-seater. Get out of the minivan of your life. Get out of the minivan. God created you to be that Ferrari. Be the Ferrari that he created you to be. It's a two-seater. There's only room for you in the present moment. There's no room for all of the cargo, your problems, all of your programming and conditioning, your ego, who you were yesterday, the stories that you've created in your mind about what happened in all of your yesterdays and all of that. There's no room for any of that. There's just no room. There's only room for you in the present moment in the two-seater Ferrari that is you. Focus on the present moment. There's no room for all of the other things. See, what we have to understand, does anyone not understand the difference between your life and your life story? Type no in the comments if you don't know. Type no in the comments if you don't know the difference between your life and your life story. Okay, I got a one don't know. Got some no's. It's okay, be honest. This is a judgment-free zone. We're not here to judge. We're here to learn. We get time to judge, and they do that on Court TV. We don't judge over here. Nicole, you in trouble, Nicole. Nicole, you are seriously in trouble because you are supposed to know this. I'm going to give everyone else a pass. I know the people that are new. Stacy, yeah, Nicole in trouble, y'all. Mindset Masters, we got to get on the call. No, I'm saying that, but it's all good. Okay. So you have your life and you have your life story. Okay? Your life story is all of the events that has happened to you leading up to this moment. Again, that's your life story. Your life story is everything that has happened to you leading up to this moment. Your life is right now. Your life is this moment. Okay, well, what's the problem with that, coach? 99.9% of the people that are walking around the face of this earth currently are living out of their life story. They are living out of their life situation. Your life situation and your life story is, again, everything that has happened to you leading up to this moment. So what are you doing? You're reaching in that bag called your life situation. You're reaching in that bag called your life story, and you're projecting that onto the present moment, which contaminates the present moment. The present moment doesn't need your help. So you've got to understand that in life, we walk around as three different versions of ourselves simultaneously. You are the student, you are the teacher, and the ultimate goal is to become the master. The student is the one that is always learning from the present moment because it's always teaching. The teacher in you is always giving and teaching other people. Even if you're not doing it directly, you're doing it indirectly because people are learning from you based upon the relationship that you have with yourself. So you are always the student and you are always the teacher. What self-awareness is trying to do is it's trying to help you to become the master, where you're no longer the problem in your life, where you're no longer living out of your life story and your life situation, because you have to understand that all of those things only helped you to arrive in this moment. They only helped you to get here where you are. You're not supposed to be carrying them. There are certain mountains in your life that were designed for you to climb, not to carry. You've been carrying all of the mountains being a metaphor for the failed relationships and the mistakes that you've made and the setbacks and the people that broke your heart and the traumatic situations and all of those other things like that. Those mountains were designed for you to climb the mountain, learn from the experience, and then set the mountain down. You've been carrying. That's why you're so heavy. That's why you probably wake up in the morning and you already don't have a zest for life. You've lost your capacity for joy and excitement. You don't have that anymore like you did when you were a child. Why? Because you're carrying all of your problems with you. You're carrying all of your pain with you. You're not learning from the experiences and then setting them down. You're collecting the experiences and then you're keeping them with you everywhere you go. And then you project all of that onto the present moment, which means your life has begun. It's not as exciting for you. It's not as fulfilling for you because, again, you keep projecting something old onto something new. You were born to climb mountains, not to carry them. So you got to understand that life gives us two things. It gives us hills. It gives us mountains. When you encounter the hill, it's small. A hill is nowhere near the size of a mountain. So the hill is easy for you to scale. What is a hill a metaphor for? The hill is a metaphor for the problem or the obstacle or the roadblock. It's easy for you to get over that. And then the moment that you climb that hill and you look in the rearview mirror of your life, it becomes a mountain. Why does it become a mountain? Because yesterday was designed to be a reflection of what you've already experienced. That's it. Yesterday was designed to be a reflection of what you don't want to repeat today. But see, we live out of our yesterdays. You're driving that car called you through the rearview mirror and you're not paying attention to what's happening in the windshield. The windshield represents the present moment. We live our lives driving that car called us, living out of the rearview mirror, meaning that you're paying more attention to what happened than to what's going to happen or to what's about to happen. That's the most important thing. It doesn't matter what happened. What matters is what's getting ready to happen. There's a difference between what was and what is. What was represents all of your yesterdays. We don't have time for what was because what is too important. But if I'm focusing and obsessing on what was, I can't maximize the value from what is. Does that make sense? Got it. Got it. Give me 1 second, you guys, 1 second. Everybody caught that? Somebody said I'm a word, just wanted his opinion. What was the question? Somebody asked a question? So real quick, my name is Jordan Williams. I am a certified life coach. I specialize in self-awareness and self-mastery. I am also the best-selling author of this book, The Secret of Awareness. How powerful are you ready to be? The book is a bestseller. It is a game changer. It is transforming and changing lives all over the globe. I've been doing this for 2 decades now. I've placed a label on myself. When I said that I was a life coach, it took your mind somewhere. And where it took your mind is not where I am. See, that's why awareness is about you not placing labels on yourself, because the moment you place a label on yourself, right, then that label that you place on yourself is open to interpretation, right? It's open to that person's perception or to that person's assumptions with respect to who you are or what it is that you do. You don't place a label on yourself because what you are from the spiritual being in you, what you are is too powerful to have any label attached to it. So the moment that I said that I'm a life coach, I shrank myself in that moment. And I left myself up to what your definition of what a life coach is. Again, that's why self-awareness is so powerful. But again, what you are aware of, you are in control of. So I'm aware of that, right? I'm aware of that. I wasn't a slave to that particular situation. I was fully aware of the mistake that I made, but it's how we communicate with each other, right? We place all of these labels on each other, and then we wonder why people don't see us, and we wonder why people don't appreciate us, and then we wonder why people don't value us, because the label that you place on yourself, it's all, now you've left it up to this person to understand or to think about what they think about you, or what they think about that label, at least, right? That part right there, Monica, that's really the only label that I identify with. But had I led with that, most people would have been lost. And then we start getting to all of these different conversations, and people are like, well, what religion are you? Or what is this? What is that? Love is my only religion. It's the only religion that I claim. If love is involved, I'm involved. If love is not involved, I'm not involved. If there's separation involved, I don't want to be there. If there's disagreements and arguments about what's better, whose is this, who's that, whose is the right way, whose is the wrong way, I don't want to be there. Because love shines its light on everything. It doesn't disconnect. It doesn't detach itself from anything or anyone for any reason. Love is what you are. It's not something that you have. It's something that has you. And the day that you realize that, you will become the most powerful version of yourself. When you realize that, it's not something that you have, and it's not something that you can lose. It's something that you are, but it's also something that has you. All right, let's get into this live. Let me say this real quick before we go there. The most powerful version of you lives on the opposite side of what you won't let go of. I just want you to sit with it. I'm not asking you to do anything. Just sit with that. I'm not asking you to change anything. I said the most powerful version of you lives on the opposite side of what you won't let go of. The most powerful version of you lives on the opposite side of what you refuse to walk away from. The most powerful version of you lives on the opposite side of that thing that you are attached to that you think you won't be happy without. That could be a person, place, or thing. Not asking you to change I'm not asking you to change anything. I'm just asking you to think. This platform requires you to think. I'm going to challenge the way you think. I don't want to change the way you think. I just want to challenge it. Not interested in changing the way you think. I don't have the power to do that anyways. That's wasted energy. All right, let's get into the live. Has anyone read this course? King, what's up, King? Has anyone read this course? Type no in the comments if you have not. Type no. Type no in the comments if you have not read this course. I've got some no's. Okay. The fearless mindset. It's called the fearless mindset for a reason. It's called the fearless mindset for a reason. I could make the argument. I can make a strong case right now. Thank you so much for the gifts, you guys. I can make a strong case right now that the fearless mindset is the most powerful e-course ever written. I'm not here to convince you of that. I want you to convince yourself. So we're getting ready to cover the fearless mindset today. And at the end of this live, I want you to just tell me, have you ever heard anything more powerful than what I'm going to share with you? That's it. That's the only thing I want you to do. I'm going to tell you right now with a straight face that it's more powerful than anything written on social media, period. I'll put it up against anything. And at the end of the live, you tell me whether or not you agree. Is that fair? Type yes in the comments if that's fair. Is that if it's fair, type yes. That's it. I want you to convince yourself. I don't want to convince you. I want the information to convince you. Okay. Because I discovered something. Oh, it's going to blow your mind. Yeah, it's going to blow your mind. I discovered something. Super powerful. See, the thing about awareness, I study awareness every single day. Let me tell you why I study awareness every single day. Because sometimes when you're studying awareness, you can see something and you can have read something, right, 100 times, 50 times, 30 times. And something clicks. And then you go back to read something. And when you go back to read this thing, it hits you in a way. It was there the whole time. It was there the whole time. But it didn't hit you spiritually. So as I was reading the Fearless Mindset, something hit me spiritually. I said, oh, it makes so much sense now. So that's what I want. There was a revelation there. There was a different level of awareness that I was able to achieve, and that's what I want to share with you guys. Aquarian Goddess, I know you know what I'm talking about. Ellie, I know you know what I'm talking about. All right, here we go. Let's get it. Watch this. There's a way that no matter what happens in your life, that you will not have to suffer emotionally or psychologically. Although we do experience a lot of pain in our lives, suffering is optional. I said all of the pain that you experience in your life is optional. How is it optional? Because it's all self-created. Reality doesn't produce your suffering. Your significant other or your job is not responsible for your suffering. What's happening with your current circumstances is not responsible for the way you feel. None of it. You are a powerful creator. It's time for you to understand your power. It's time for you to master your mind. No more excuses. No more suffering unnecessarily. I said the suffering is optional. I said that it's 100% avoidable. I said it's 100% avoidable, and it's 100% created by your own mind and your reaction to things. The meaning that you attach to things. The story that you create in your mind about how you thought the situation should have turned out and what your expectations were based upon all of the expectations that you've placed on outcomes and expectations that you've placed on people for the roles that they play in your life and all of those things. And they don't live up to those expectations and you punish yourself. You are the creator. You never punish the creator in you. I don't give a damn what's going on outside of you. Because nothing external can ever impact or change the way you feel internally. I said nothing. You lose power when you don't believe in you. You lose power when you don't love you. You lose power when you don't have confidence in you. You lose power when you don't have faith in you. You lose power when you place other people on pedestals above you. You lose power when you don't show up for you. You lose power when you don't invest in you. I said you're giving away your power when you're waiting on someone else to believe you. When you're waiting on someone else to choose you. When you're waiting on someone else to validate you. Validation is for parking. It's not for something that God created. You want something validated, go down to the Four Seasons. They'll do all the validating you want. What you need is to love you unconditionally. Get there first. Before you start adding a bunch of people to your life because you have some attachment to something, because you've got some void in you and you're not loving you. And so you think adding this person to your life will help you to escape all of the pain that you've been running from. The truth is at the door. What are we going to do? We're going to open the door, or we're going to sit here and live out of our fantasies, live out of our illusions about what we think life should be. And when life doesn't line up with what we think should be, you suffer. Because you have to understand that reality cannot fit into the story that you have created in your mind based on your previous programming and conditioning. That's why you suffer. Because you want things to be as you want them to be versus accepting things as they are. Acceptance is your superpower. But we don't want to do it. We want people to walk, act, talk, and think the way that we want them to. And the moment that you don't, you reject that person, you reject that situation. You don't want to accept the fact that this person may want to go and experience something outside of you. Now we're not ready to let go of the person. Come on. Y'all know we spit the truth over here. You won't get anything other than truth over here. I don't have time to give you some illusion, or I don't have time to give you some story about something. You're going to get universal raw truth here. The truth that people should have been telling you your entire life. The truth that they didn't tell you. So here we go. Although we do experience a lot of pain in our lives, again, suffering is optional. I get the pain part, but the suffering is optional. You creating the suffering, not the situation, your meaning that you attach to the situation, your reaction to the situation, the way you chose to think about the situation. That's what produced all of the problems. Watch this. Anytime that we experience a negative event in our lives, two arrows fly our way at the same time. I need you to catch this. If you never show up to another live stream of mine again, ever in life, and I'm okay with that, but if you never show up, take this with you. Just take this. You don't take anything else. Take this. Anytime that we experience a negative event in our lives, two arrows fly our way at the same time. That's a diamond hard fact. The first arrow is always the event itself. The first arrow is always the event itself. Oftentimes, there's nothing that you can do about the first arrow. You can't do anything about the first arrow. The first arrow being a metaphor for the experience. You can't do anything about the experience because the experience doesn't belong to you. It belongs to God. It's what he's utilizing to build you. But when you operate out of lower mind, when you're not self-aware, you don't realize that that's what's happening. So oftentimes you're rejecting the experience. And when you're placing a negative meaning on the experience, or you think someone is punishing you in that moment because you don't understand what's happening. He's using the experiences to build you. He can't just give you beautiful experiences all day long because beautiful experiences don't lead to self-awareness. And he can't just give you negative experiences all day long because then your life would be out of balance. You would be suffering all day. So he gives you both the positive and the negative experiences because that's what builds you. Positive experiences lead to joy and happiness. The negative experiences lead to self-awareness. Baddest thing walking is you. Nothing can guard you. Nothing can touch you. Nothing can hurt you other than the meaning that you choose to attach to the situation. Your life isn't good or bad. Your life is predicated on the meaning that you attach to it. You're not happy or sad. Happy or sad is predicated on the meaning that you choose to apply to the situation. It's all on you. He created you to be a reflection of him. So it's all on you. It's all on what you choose to think about that situation. It's all based upon what you choose to attach meaning to. It's all about what you choose to react to. You are the creator. Man, you got to take your power back. What you mean you walking around sad? Why would you make yourself sad? Why would you make yourself unhappy? Why would you make yourself depressed? I'll tell you why you're doing that. Because you're not tapped into self-awareness. That's why you're doing it. Because they programmed you to focus on everything outside of yourself. Go chase people. Go start a family. Go chase information. Information is not awareness. Wisdom is not awareness. Knowledge is not awareness. Whatever it is, that degree that you hold is not awareness. Go chase things. And then when you add all of these things to your life, you're going to punish yourself. You're going to spiral out of control Because you have no control over you, and you're trying to control things that you have no control over. Your life is going to be one big ball of suffering because no one's ever told us to. Come on. We never got told the truth. We never got told the truth at all. One more time. Anytime that you experience a negative event in our lives, two arrows fly our way at the same time. The first arrow is always the event itself. We get that, we get that, we get that. First arrow is always the event. What is the event? The experience, the situation, the circumstance, the job, the significant other. All first arrows. That person that walked out of your life, that person that you lost, whether that were a parent or grandparent or family member or friend. All first arrows. Everything is a first arrow. Everything outside of you in this moment is a first arrow. And here's the thing. The first arrows have no power. Truth is back. The first arrow has no power. I said zero. I didn't say it had a little bit of power. I didn't say it had 1%. I didn't say it could sometimes change up. And it never has power. It never will have power. You fire the second arrow. You are life's second arrow. Life needs you. You are the second arrow. You give meaning to everything. That's how powerful you are. Nothing can give meaning to you because you cannot be described. You give meaning to everything because you are the creator. I wonder how many people caught that. Wait, pin that question up. Somebody pin that question up. Somebody said about creator. It was a creator question. Somebody asked that question. Let's paradigm shift moment. What do you think he created you for? You don't create anything. You're creating your own reality. You don't create reality. You create your reality. You are the architect and the builder of your reality. Every single thing in your reality right now, in your life right now, you either created, you manifested it, or you attracted it energetically somehow, some way, period. I didn't say you were the creator of everything. You are the creator of your reality. You have to understand that. I don't want to get off course right now. I'll get back to this later because I want to get back to the teaching. I promise I'll circle back to this later and I'll break that down for you in a way that I know you won't miss it. That part right there, you are the CEO of your life. Who else is in control of your life? Take God out of the equation. Who else is in control of your life? You. Right? You created the relationship. Did you not? Yes or no? It's a simple yes or no. The relationship that you're in right now, if you're in a relationship, you brought that. The kids that you have, you brought that. That job that you were obsessing over, you brought that. That couch that's in your house, you brought that. That car that's outside, you manifested that. All of the clothes that you have and the jewelry that you have, you created or manifested that. All of it, you're creating everything. So you got to understand the dream of the planet. I don't want to go there yet because I don't want to get off course. But you have to understand that. That's why you're in this moment. You lose power when you don't understand that. Nobody's creating your reality for you. You're creating your reality for you. You're creating your entire emotional experience. You're creating and building everything in your life. You're building the beautiful experiences. You're creating and manifesting and attracting all of the ugly experiences. Everything is being created by you. Period. The situations, all of it. The circumstances, all of it. It's all your creation. It's all the byproduct of your thinking. It's all the byproduct of the information that you're currently in possession of. It's all the byproduct of your programming and conditioning. It's all you. Everything in your reality, you are creating. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, you guys. That part right there. But I understand that people are at different levels of awareness, and so that may be something that you don't realize that you're doing. Every single thought that you have becomes the physical manifestation of that particular thought. When that thought is not reality, but that thought becomes reality when you create the thought, meaning that you turn it into the physical manifestation of whatever it is. You just went, hold on. We gonna skip past that? Are we gonna skip past that? Are we gonna skip past that? Can we have a paradigm shift moment? Think about what I'm saying. Think about what I'm saying. Come on, Moni, watch this. Think about what I'm saying. Block everyone else out. That's the problem. We're too busy looking at ourselves through groupthink and all of these other things like that. Block everyone else out of your mind right now. Just think about you for a moment. For once in your life, just focus on you. Think about what I'm saying. You're taking something, a thought, that no one else on the planet can see. The moment that you entertain some thought, whatever the thought is about something that you want to create, something that you want to build, in that moment, we can't see it. So you're taking something that's invisible and you're creating the physical manifestation of that. This thing that was just some thought in your mind, whether that's a car you wanted to create, whether that's some business that you wanted to create, whether that's some clothing line, you're a content creator, whatever it is, at some point in time, it only existed in your mind and there wasn't a person on the planet that could see it. You are so powerful that you took what no one could see and created the physical manifestation of it so that we can all see it, so that we can all experience it, so that we can all become transformed by it and have an opportunity to have some version of ourselves unlocked based upon. If that doesn't make you a creator, I don't know what is. A creator is someone that can take something that's invisible and create the physical manifestation of it and make what was unseen seen now. That's so powerful. I don't know. That's exactly what God does. He takes what you can't see and creates so that you can see it, so that you can experience it, so that you can become unlocked and unleashed because you now have the ability to have access to it. Everything that we see was once something that was once in his mind. Everything that we see in your reality is once something that was in your mind. You are the creator. Not of all things, of your world. And if you don't see that, we got two whole problems now. Let me get back into this live book. Let me get back into this live. That's right, of your world, to be very clear, not of the world, of your world. And you can take a single thought and change the world. A single thought can do that. Something that we did not, no one can see, no one can experience, no one has access to except for you. And you can create that. That could be some book, that could be some gadget, some device, something that gives us the ability to live longer or to save lives or whatever case may be. That's how powerful you are. Stop giving your power away, thinking about what you're not, and start studying self-awareness so that you can begin to understand what you are. You are out of alignment with what you are. Let's go. Let's dive deep. So one more time. Anytime that we experience a negative event in our lives, two arrows fly our way at the same time. Hang on. This was the revelation for me. We got some super self-aware people on here. I'm going to see if you catch it. I said anytime that we experience a negative event in our lives, two arrows fly our way at the same time. What's the problem with that? Let me see how self-aware you are. What's the problem with that? Major problem. I'm talking about category 5 problem. What's the problem with that? I'm going to see if my mindset masters can solve this. What's the problem with that? Silver CEO, God's girl, Stacy. Okay, mamas, I see you. Lynetta, Tara. Sefe, okay, Sefe, look at Sefe, okay, Sefe threw one of them haymakers in there. Okay. Vanny, where you at? I ain't seen you. Aquarian Goddess, where you at? Musa? Oh, man. Oh, man, we can have a moment here. Sandy, okay, Sandy. Come on, I got my Sandy in the building. She threw her little vote in there. Elisa, where you at? Let me see. Being able to see the first arrow a mile away. Vandy says second arrow isn't necessary. Watch this. You're still learning from something. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. So the question is, again, let me give y'all the question one more time. Okay, Ellie says she's being tested. Anytime that we experience a negative event in our lives, two arrows fly our way at the same time. The first arrow is always the event itself. Oftentimes there's nothing you can do about the first arrow, right? So we understand that. But the $1 billion question deserves the $1 billion answer. What's wrong with that? This is what woke me up. What's wrong with that? Somebody said meaning. Let me tell you what. Oh, this is powerful right here. This is powerful right here. Maybe what's it giving it meaning? Okay. Here we go. I'm gonna tell you what's powerful with that. Groundbreaking. Here it is. One more time. Anytime that we experience a negative event in our lives, two arrows fly away at the same time. Put the car in park right there. Hold on, coach. Hold on, coach. Hold on, coach. Who said that the experience was negative to begin with? Come on. You got to catch this, Musa. I really need you to catch this. I said, who said? Come on, Lynetta. Who said that the event was negative to begin with? Who told you that? Did you hear that from God or did you hear that from someone else? Where'd you get the information from? I said that anytime that we are having a negative event in our lives, two arrows fly our way at the same time. The $1 billion question is this. Who said that the situation was negative to begin with? How did it become negative? Did it become negative because of the meaning that you attached to it? Did it become negative because of the programming and conditioning that you attached to it? Did it become negative because of the story that you created about the situation? Come on, Aquarian Goddess, because you know this better than anybody, Aquarian Goddess. You know this better than anyone. Listen. Everything is PTG. Everything is PTG. We grow through what we go through in life. So how can this situation be negative? Did God say it was negative, or are you saying that? Where are you borrowing this definition from with respect to the situation being negative? Just tell me who taught you that. Because if the situation is leading you to awareness, if the situation is leading you to becoming the greatest and most powerful version of yourself, if the situation is leading you to becoming an enlightened being, how can you possibly categorize the situation as negative if it helps you to become the greatest that you've ever been in your life? Do the math on that for me. That part right there, Lynetta, just do the math on that for me. See, we're walking around, you calling things negative, but the things that you're calling negative is what's leading to your transformation. So how can it be negative? And let me tell you the problem with that. When you attach a negative meaning to it, you unlock negative feelings in you. You got to stop doing that. The situation is there to help you to grow and become transformed. But you've been calling everything negative your entire life because it's out of alignment with your programming and conditioning. That's why you are calling it negative. You call the situation negative because it's out of alignment with your programming and conditioning. Anytime that something is out of alignment with your programmed thinking, you call it negative. You call it disrespectful. You call it rude. You call it ugly. You call it, lacking intelligence and all of these things. You come up with all of these names for anything that's not in alignment with what you think should be. So God is sending you all of these experiences. The experiences are designed to transform you, but you can't become transformed because you're too busy calling everything negative, which lowers your vibrational frequency, which keeps you from seeing the opportunity in the situation, which keeps you from seeing the growth in the situation. Does that make sense? Who had the paradigm shift with respect to the two-arrow concept? Let me see. I see you, Valerie. Come on, Musa. You don't need to put any meaning on it because the situation is there, the circumstances are there, the environment is there, the experience is there to help you unlock something that was already in you. That's it. You place the negative meaning on it. It's not reality. Reality didn't show up and say, hey, this is negative. I need you to attach negative on me. No, reality didn't do that. You chose to call that situation negative. And you've been calling everything throughout the course of your life negative anytime that it's out of alignment with what you think should be, with what you think is right, with what you think is a good thing. Anytime it's out of alignment with that, you categorize it as negative. And when you categorize it as negative, you punish yourself in that moment because you unlock and release negative feelings in you. The situation didn't release the negative feelings. The meaning that you attached to it did. And I need you to understand that. Everything is working out for your benefit. You don't see that because you're too busy looking at it through a negative filter. You got to change your lens. See, when you understand PTG, it works like this. It's post-traumatic growth. You grow through the experiences that you have in life. Positive experiences lead to joy, happiness, and excitement. Negative experiences lead to growth and self-awareness. So if positive experiences lead to happiness, joy, and excitement, and if the negative experiences lead to growth, that can only mean when you combine the two, that everything that happens to you in life is happening to you for your good. All of it. I didn't say some of it. I said all of it. But you can't see that because you're wearing a filter that's keeping you blind to what's there to help you. But coach, that's not true. That's not true at all, coach. I lost someone. I lost a loved one. I lost a family member. I lost a fill in the blank. What do you mean you lost someone? Come on. What do you mean you lost someone? How do you lose what was never yours to begin with? How do you lose what never belonged to you? The person was given to you as a gift, and they were given to you because there was some experience that needed to be unlocked in you that only that person could unlock. The person never belonged to you. That's where your suffering is coming from, because you think something belonged to you. You're living out of ego mind. The person was a gift to you. What about the love that they unlocked in you? What about the beautiful memories that they helped you to create? What about the experiences that you had with this person? What about all of that? The life you receive is the one you focus on. You're focused on loss, so you only experience negativity. You got to become a version of yourself in their presence that you never would have been able to become had you never had access to this person, and God knew that. That person being in your life helped you to timeline correct. Timeline correct meaning that your life changed or altered somehow, some way. Because this person had access to you and you had access to the person. You unlocked certain things in them and they unlocked certain things in you. And when that relationship hit its expiration date, because everything that God needed you to learn from that person, you had learned. He removed the person from your life so that he could make room for something else. That's what's happening. But when you cling to the experience, You don't make room for the next thing. That's what's creating all of the suffering, because you think something belongs to you. Nothing belongs. Put your hands behind your back. When you walk through life, I walk through life like this. Most people walk through life like this. You're clinging to this and you're clinging to that and you're clinging to this. How can I make it last, coach? How can I make them love me forever? How can I keep this experience here? How can I make this person never want to leave me? How can I do all of that versus walking through life like this? I don't cling to anything. My hands are behind my back. I don't cling to anything. Everything is an experience. I'm focused on what am I supposed to learn? What's becoming unlocked in me? How much love do I get to experience? What level of joy or happiness do I get to experience? What is this person in my life to teach me, right? What is this experience going to do, and how is it going to transform me somehow, some way? You too busy trying to hang on to the person. The person never belonged to you. Again, what did you show up with? What did you show up with? What belongs to you is what you showed up with. And the last time I checked, the only thing you showed up with was you. You belong to you. Not the person, not the individual that walked out of your life, not the person that didn't give you that promotion, not the person that didn't invite you to the party. None of those things belong to you. When you focus on what belongs to you, peace will be in your life. When you focus on things that you have no control over, suffering will be in your life. Pick a side. Pick a side. You want suffering in your life, or do you want peace? Because the moment you start thinking that something belongs to you, suffering begins. The moment that you start thinking experiences belong to you, suffering begins. The moment that you try to hang on to and keep certain experiences and keep certain people, suffering begins. Let everything flow like a river. It's coming to teach you something, or you're going to teach it something, and then it's gone. The next experience is coming to teach you something, or you're going to teach it something, and it's gone. You're the teacher, you're the student. You're the teacher, you're the student. And eventually you'll become the master. The master walks around like this. I'm clean to anything because nothing belongs to me. And I don't even want those problems. I don't want the problems of trying to control 8 billion people. Most people you can't control your own life. You trying to control what's going on with all of these other people. You haven't figured you out. You ain't done that yet. Figure you out first before you start trying to control and hang on and cling and train. No, let God handle his business. He's a master at what he does. See, that's our problem. You haven't gotten you figured out, but yet you want to control what's going on with someone else. No, master you. And then when you master you, what you're going to understand when you reach my level of awareness is you don't want them problems. It's 8 billion people walking around the face of this earth, give or take. I don't want 8 billion problems. I can barely master myself. When you understand self-mastery, you understand how hard it is just to master you. Thank you so much for the gifts you got. You understand how hard it is just to figure you out. You ain't got you figured out yet. You all in somebody else's lane. No, focus on yourself. Understand how you work fully and completely. Understand how God is creating and giving you certain experiences because it's spiritually aligned with who you are becoming. And so he's adding certain experiences, he's adding certain people, and you think that the experience is negative. The experience is not negative, the meaning that you attach to it. You think that the person no longer being in your life or you no longer having access to them, that something is wrong. No, the relationship hit its expiration date. There was nothing else for you to learn. We're not going to live in the truth right here. 5 seconds. Give me 5 seconds of truth. Give me 5 seconds of truth. 5 seconds of truth. Just 5 seconds. That's all I need. Give me 5. Watch this. That person that walked out of your life, the person that stopped loving you, you want to know why they stopped loving you? Because you had stopped loving you. That's why they stopped loving you. God removed that person from your life because you had stopped loving you. Because you had made this person the priority, because you had an attachment to this person, and he knew and understood that you would never deliver the gift that he placed in you as long as this person was in your life. He knew that. You were blind, so blind. You had this person on some pedestal. Your goals and dreams and everything had been on the back burner. You were making them their everything. You poured all of your financial resources into this person. You lend your credit to this person. Everything that you could do, you were throwing it at this person because you wanted to hang on to the person. You wanted to make them happy. It was all about them. The relationship was all about them. He said, now I got to break this up. She gives more energy and attention to this person than she does to me, and I created the person. He gives more energy and attention to this person than he does to me, and I created the person. Let me remove the person. And then let me tell you what you did. The moment that he removed the person, you went back to him, which is where you should have been the entire time. The moment that he took that person out of your life, you went straight back to him, which is where you should have been the entire time. But you had lost sight of that. You didn't go back to him until you lost the person. So that's what he did. Losing that person was that wake-up call because you had already lost yourself. You were lost. You didn't know who you were. You were confused in the relationship. You were upset, checking phones and checking this person's stuff and going through this person's personal things and all of these other things like that. You were insecure. You were afraid of losing the person. You were doubting yourself. You weren't believing in yourself. You weren't showing up for yourself. You weren't taking. He said, I got to break this up. I gotta break this up now. She ain't gonna never become the most powerful version of herself. Not through this relationship, she won't. He won't never become the most powerful version of himself. Not hanging on to this person right here that I created, and I already know what you're gonna get from the situation because I created the person that's giving it to you. So let me remove this person right now from your life. Let me eliminate the problems because you're not gonna do it. So let me do it. See, when you one of his chosen one, every now and then he call a technical foul. Technical foul. Technical foul. We got to break this up right here. Technical foul. You got to break this up. Because you losing yourself. Every day I let you stay in this relationship with this person, you're losing more and more and more and more of yourself. You're disconnected from me. You're disconnected from reality. You're disconnected from who you are. You don't know what you are. Your whole world spins, turns, and revolves around this person. Let me remove this person from your life. That's what he did. When you stop loving you, the person stopped loving you because the person will always be an energetic match for who you are at your essence, not who you pretend to be. So the day that you cut your love off was the day that they cut theirs off for you. That's how it works. They weren't showing up for you because you weren't showing up for you. They weren't supporting you like you wanted to because you weren't doing that. You didn't have a powerful relationship with yourself, so how could you expect to have a powerful relationship with them? Oh, you ain't gonna catch that? We ain't gonna live in the truth right there. We're not gonna live in the truth right there. When you don't have a powerful relationship with you, you will never have a powerful relationship with someone else. And if you think you do, you need to break that fantasy right now. You need to get out of that illusion right now. If your relationship with yourself isn't powerful, it will never be powerful with someone else. Because everyone will always be an energetic match to who and what you are at your essence, not what you pretend to be. I don't give a damn how much pretending you're doing. You're not attracting from what you want. You're attracting from what you are. We just shadow boxing. That's it. We just shadow boxing right now. Everything's fine. You're not winning. You're not losing. Everything is fine. We're just shadow boxing right now. Let it. I'm telling you. But you guys understand what I'm saying? So when you're saying, oh, I lost this person because the person never belonged to you. You gained more from the situation than you ever could have lost. Come on, we're not going. Come on. I need you to catch that. I need you to catch that. You gained so much. The audacity of us to walk around focusing on the fact that we no longer have access to the person and overlooking all of what we've gained. You got to experience a level of love that you would have never had the opportunity to experience had it not been for this person. You got all of these beautiful memories. More importantly, you had a version of yourself that was unlocked that you could only become in their presence that you get to keep forever. All of that belongs to you. And we spend so much time focusing on the fact that we don't have access to this person that we blind ourselves to everything that we gained from the relationship. Man, you walked away a winner. What you talking about you lost? What did you lose? I'm just asking. And then not only that, watch this, Vanny. Not only that, we don't appreciate things. Oh yeah, come on, come on, come on. Come on, Joan. We don't appreciate things. See, you had access to grandma, but you weren't calling grandma like you should have. You weren't visiting her as much. You weren't showing up for her as much and all of, come on, live in the truth. You got access to your parents and different people like that. We don't show those people the love that we should. We don't call them like we should. We don't visit them like we should. And that's all they want is for you to visit them. That's all they want is for you to slow down. But you're so distracted, trying to be what reality wants you to be. You're so distracted, trying to impress people that don't matter anyways, that we neglect the people that stayed in our lives. We neglect the people that love us for who we are. We're so busy trying to impress people that don't give a damn about who we are, that only talk trash behind our back. But the people that love us genuinely, the people that would move mountains for us, we neglect those people. We don't spend the time with those people. And then the moment that those people are removed from our lives, you want to spiral out of control now. Spiral into depression now. Spiral into unhappiness as though you were showing up for this person the whole time. And you know you weren't. Come on now. I'm telling you, you got access to certain people right now. I'm going to tell you the problem. You're living your life as though you got 1,000 years of living. That's your problem. You're living your life as though these people are always going to be around you. You're living your life as that nothing is going to change. That's the illusion that you're living out of. You're living out of an illusion right now. You think that everything is always going to be okay. That's your ego telling you that. That's what's keeping you disconnected from reality. That's what's keeping you that's what's keeping you ungrateful and keeping you from being in a state of gratitude while you have access to the people that you have access to. But we so busy trying to fill our lives with all of these fake people that's coming in there doing just as much pretending as you do. And pretending to have it all together and pretending to be happy and pretending to be mistake free and I'm drama free. The next time somebody tell you they drama free, take off running. Grab everything you own and take off running. That's the #1 date relationship opener. Yeah, I ain't got no drama in my life. Take off running just because they lying to you. We all got it because your mind is creating it. So we all got it until you become self-aware. Then a person can tell me that. I used to sit and hear people say that, oh yeah, I ain't got no drama in my life. I ain't got no stress in my life. I don't have no this in my life. And I'm like, ooh, that's great. Just, man, you sitting here lying, just lying. We have that because your brain is creating it. And it's creating it because there's things in your environment, there's things in your atmosphere, there's stories that you're creating that's out of alignment with what you think should be and should happen and all of those things. There's people that we haven't gotten over and all of those things. Most people, when they jump in a relationship with you, are still healing from the last person that they were in love with that walked out of their life that never gave them closure. And then they jump into this relationship with you. Never got any closure from the last relationship, still hurting, still bleeding from the last relationship, and they're utilizing you as a band-aid to heal themselves for everything that's missing from within. See, we don't understand that. A person will add you to their life to avoid pain that they don't want to deal with, and you become a beautiful distraction for them. That's what you were. You were a beautiful distraction to something that they didn't want to deal with. Because we don't know how to sit with the pain when you lack self-awareness. You don't know what the pain and suffering is trying to teach you. You don't know how to process that. So the only thing that you can do is think to add something new to your life or go shopping or add some person or get on some online dating app and whatever the case may be and bring all of your unhealed versions of you, all of the old bricks from your previous relationship to this new relationship and build a house that you're going to have to tear down again because you haven't fixed you. You've been running from you. We talk about this all the time. What you avoid controls you. The life you want It's on the opposite side of what you won't let go of. That could be some negative experience. That could be some negative habit. That could be some addiction to something. That could be something. The life that you want lives on the opposite side of the life you won't let go of. There's something that you're not letting go of. Something that you haven't gotten past, something that you don't understand. Why did this happen to me? The story of why did this happen to me is what's hurting you, not the situation itself. The story that you're creating about the situation. Why did this happen, coach? That story right there, the why did this happen story, is where all of the drama lives. Not in the reality of the situation, in the story that you just created about the situation. Why did this happen? Because what that means is that you're rejecting something. The moment, that's where my awareness goes. The moment that you ask me, coach, why did this happen to me? I say, you're suffering. I won't tell you that directly. I'm gonna just look at you. But what that lets me know is that you're rejecting something. You're looking for understanding. You're looking for understanding in something that you don't have the power to understand. Again, because the experience was a gift to you. God gave you the experience, but you created an attachment around the experience because there was something that was missing in you. See, oftentimes we don't fall in love with the person. Oftentimes we don't fall in love with people. You think you do. You're programmed minded. Yes, I do, coach. No, you don't. Because to fall in love with the person means that you have to understand who they are at their essence. You don't understand who you are at your essence. So if you don't know who you are at your essence, how do you know what they are? So if you don't know what they are at their essence, to fall in love with someone means that I understand who you are at your essence. But see, through our programmed mind, what you're doing in that moment is you feel in love with the story that you created in your mind about that person. You fell in love with the version of yourself that you had an opportunity to become in their presence. We oftentimes don't see people at their essence because we don't see ourselves at our essence. We create a fragment of who we think they are in our mind, and then we create attachments around that fragment, and then that fragment we project back onto the person, and we think we know the person. I'm gonna qualify that right now. I'm gonna qualify it right now. Qualified, pure qualifier. COVID in a lot of ways took some things away, but it gave us some things as well. What did it give us? It revealed to couples, I don't really know my partner. Because see, what was happening is that when COVID happened and everything was shut down and there was no movement or anything like that, people couldn't go anywhere. People were in the house with their partners, right? Hang on, you guys. All right. People were in the house with their partners for the very first time. And prior to COVID ever happening, there were all of these beautiful distractions. You had kids running around and their little events and all of that. You had the job going on, and you got family and friends and cookouts and barbecues and all of these beautiful distractions going on. So when COVID happened, all of the distractions were gone. And now you're in this house with your partner for the very first time in years, maybe ever. And what people were discovering was that I don't really know my partner like that. More divorces happened after COVID than any other time period in history, because people were seeing for the very first time, damn, I don't really know my partner. And not only that, the version of them that I see right now, I don't like this version of them because they have had all of these distractions. The only time that they were really spending the time, we might sit down and have a meal together. We may go to a movie every now and then. We may go out and have a drink or go dancing or whatever. Little things. Anyone can make it doing that. But when I have to be around my partner from sun up to sundown, sun up to sundown, sun up to sundown, and then we don't know when it's going to end, because at that time we didn't know when COVID was going to end. So now people were discovering that I don't really know my partner. To qualify my point, when we start falling in love with people, we fall in love with the version of them that we create in our minds, not the reality of who they are, not the reality of who they are, the version of them that we create. Why? Because you're seeing this person through your own programming and conditioning. You're not seeing them as they are. You're seeing them as you want them to be. You're looking at them based upon the role that they can play in your life. And what value can they add to your life? What level of pleasure can they unlock in your life? The pleasure that you experience doesn't come from them. It comes from the story that you tell yourself about the way they're treating you in that moment. We don't even realize that. Come on. We don't even realize that. They don't, I love that question. I love that question. Why can't people just be real? It's not that they can't be real. It's that, again, you got to understand this. And I say this with everything in me. Every single person on the face of this earth has their own unique programming and conditioning. And here's the thing. 90% of their programming and conditioning doesn't actually come from them. 90% of their programming and conditioning comes from other people. Let me qualify that. There probably isn't a thought, a belief, a gesture, an attitude in you currently that doesn't have someone else's DNA on it. That's a diamond hard fact because you showed up with nothing. The day that you were born, you showed up with nothing. You had nothing in your database. It was blank. Your mind was a blank canvas. So if your mind was a blank canvas, where did all the information come from? Where did all the information come from? Where did all the beliefs come from? Where did the ABCs and the learning how to count and all, it all comes from other people. You're walking around not with your information in your mind. You're walking around with other people's information in your mind. We can't. Can we lock in on that right there? Can we lock? Is anybody who's with me right now? I need you to catch this. I need you to catch this. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm giving you universal truth right now. I'm not giving you my opinion doesn't matter. I'm giving you universal truth right now. Come on, Chink, walk with me right here. Walk with me on this. It's a beautiful thing. You're not walking around with your information. This is why I don't understand why racism exists. This is why I don't understand why there's all of this anger in the world and people projecting all of their anger onto other people. I don't get it. And the reason why I don't get it is because you can't even be who you are. Without other people, you're not walking around with your information in your mind. You're walking around with information that you have inherited from some of God's best and most beautiful people. And they've all been making deposits. Every book that you've ever read, you didn't write the books. All of the courses and everything that you learned in college, you didn't write that. The professor that taught you and the teacher that taught you, you didn't create that information. All of the lesson plans, the ABCs and the learning how to count, you didn't create the math system. You didn't create any of it. Nothing comes from you, but you got a mind full of information that comes from all of these other people. So how can we have the audacity to walk around and project anger and hate and all of these things onto people when everything that you have right now was a gift to you, you inherited it. God put you in a position to gain access to everything you know in this moment. That's why I get up and I do this every single day, because the information doesn't belong to me. The audacity for me to go to some party, yeah, I'm the smartest one in the room, and I'm the this, and I'm the that, and I'm all of these things like that. The information doesn't come from you. It comes from him. It's all coming from him. And what he wants you to have access to, he will put you in direct alignment with those people to give you that information, and they will, and then you'll be able to come unlocked. And then I'm going to tell you what does belong to you. Now, I will tell you this. Let me tell you what does belong to you. The creativity, that part comes from you. Meaning, you take the information that God put you in direct alignment to receive, and then you take that information and you make something unique and different to that information, something that maybe we've never had the ability to experience or see before. That part does come from you. You might write a book, you may create some course, you may take those words and arrange those words in a certain way that we've never had access to before. That part does come from you, but not the information. Not the information. And the audacity for us to walk around this planet with our egos and thinking that we're better. And when I see someone say, when someone walks up to me and they say, oh man, you know, with chest all out and all of that. I'm a genius. How did you become that? I'm just asking. How did you become a genius? And see, because at that time they're lacking self-awareness, they're operating, oh man, well, you know, I studied this, and I read that, and I did this, and I end the conversation right there. I don't even want to talk to the person no more. Because you tell them, what you're revealing to me right now is that you don't know who you are. What you're revealing to me right now is you don't even know how you became a genius. You can't become a genius without God's permission. You can't become a genius without him putting certain people in your direct path to teach you certain things. But the information that you that you have acquired, that's giving you the ability or giving you, it's making you feel like you're some genius, doesn't even belong to you. Doesn't even belong to you. Most disrespectful thing in the history of disrespectful things, in my opinion. Nothing is more disrespectful than that, in my opinion. You'll never hear me say that. You'll never hear me say that. You will never hear me call myself a genius. Nothing belongs to me. What belongs to me is this moment. That's it. That's what belongs to me. What belongs to me is this moment. It's my gift. It belongs to me. Maximize the value out of this moment, coach. Stop focusing on what happened in the previous moment, coach. Stop paying attention to what might happen in the next moment, coach. That's not your lane. The gift that you have is what you do with this moment and the information that you deposit into this moment to create an experience that maybe you've never had and maybe we've never had. That's the whole point. That part right there. All right. Damn, I ain't even get to cover, but I ain't even get to cover this like I wanted to. I didn't get to cover this like I wanted to, man. I wanted to go so deep on this. Maybe I'll come back. Maybe I'll come back Monday and cover this. Maybe I'll come back Monday and cover this. But real quick, my name is Jordan Williams. I am. For anyone that maybe just joined the line, my name is Jordan Williams. I'm a certified life coach. No weekend lives, but in the community. We'll be going live this evening inside the community. So that's gonna be tonight's live in the community is going. I actually can't wait. We got some special people gonna go up with us tonight, so that's gonna be special. My name is Jordan Williams. I am a certified life coach. I specialize in self-awareness and self-mastery. Just helping people to become unlocked, helping them to become unleashed and to become the greatest version of themselves. I am also the best-selling author of this book, The Secret of Awareness. How powerful are you ready to be? The community, Mindset Masters. If you are not a member of the Mindset Masters community, I strongly encourage you to get signed up right now. Mindset Masters is the future. It's the wave. It's the present moment. It's where the greatest minds now are meeting up, and we're talking about this, topics like self-awareness, self-mastery, emotional intelligence, 4QL, living, and all of these other things like that. Just becoming the greatest, strongest, and most powerful version of yourself. If you are on some journey where you're trying to level up, you're trying to become something stronger or greater than you are right now, this community is for you. The community is all about positivity. It's all about love. It's all about light. We don't do negativity inside of the community. This is not the community. The community is something that you can get to the community through my link in bio. But the point not to be missed is this. You're going to get me inside of this community. First of all, you're going to gain access to all of my live streams. You're going to gain access to my podcast. You're going to gain access to all of this information that I post every single day on self-awareness, self-mastery, and on you becoming the greatest version of yourself. You got to become obsessed. I'm going to just be real with you guys. You have to become obsessed. You have to become obsessed with becoming something greater than you are right now. Because you can't be lukewarm. See, the present moment works like this. It's only going to reflect back to you what you bring to it. You bring mediocrity to the present moment, it's going to reflect that back to you. You bring greatness to the present moment, it's going to reflect that back to you. Whatever you bring to the present moment, it will mirror that back to you. And so when we bring some lukewarm approach, when we bring some, okay, I'll try it out for a little while, nothing's going to work for you because of the energy that you're depositing in the moment. And so if you don't have a burning desire to become something greater than you are right now, then you'll remain where you are. And every time you doubt yourself, you're making a down payment on remaining who you are. Every time you don't show up for yourself, you're making a down payment on remaining who you are. Every time you don't invest in yourself, you're making a down payment on remaining who you are. And let me say this to you because this is so important.